Welcome back to Mozzy Sails, and that's it. It's all over, just like that. But I think a massive well done to both teams. I think Emirates Team New Zealand, obviously victors, an amazing defence of the cup. Really, the ingenuity there, thinking outside the box, bringing a boat to the race course, which was tricky to sail, but probably kind of half a generation ahead in terms of speed. But on the other hand, I think the biggest my biggest takeaway from the whole event was just how much respect I have for the Italian challenge. They completely exceeded my expectations. I think I always knew they'd be good because they were involved in designing the rule, they knew the concept, they gave a lot of support to Team New Zealand in their previous challenge to the Cup. So I kind of knew it was there, but I don't think I understood how capable they would be of actually putting all those factors together. And that boat is an absolutely beautiful boat, still my favourite looking boat. And I think they probably of all the teams got to the highest kind of like percentage of performance for their boat. I think they were really eking out every last drop, whereas the Kiwis were still kind of extending into the potential for their boat. So there's a lot of great things about the Luna Rossa campaign, and I super hope they're going to come back for future challenges because I think they're an integral part of the kind of cup community for me. Right, we'll be doing a full recap with Rob and Tom, a kind of a debrief of the America's Cup, looking at the designs, where we go from there. So I'm going to save too much about the Cup in general. But there are a few details from the last day's racing which are really interesting, and I wanted to share with you on the techie side, just to get down into those details before we break up. Right, so first of all, confirmation of the use of heel on Emirates Team New Zealand and heel and cant for the kind of turning manoeuvres and even straight liners bit as well. So you can just hear it there. There's a request to stick to leeward heel.
Keep leeward heel, cant wide for you.
Keeping leeward heel, cant is wide for you. So that's kind of confirming this link between cant and heel that we were suggesting in previous videos.
Going cool. Picture on, boys, picture on. -2 on the heel out of each piece. While we get wound up, Penny.
We got the communications on board which kind of confirmed this, talking about that whole kind of balance of the helm and helping the boat steer out of manoeuvres with heel and sail trim, whereas all the other teams still seem to be keeping the platform as flat as possible and then just using sail trim to alter the centre of effort. Luna Rossa, I shouted out Emirates Team New Zealand on their first one-legged JK. Luna Rossa did one as well, really cool.
Drop the board during the turn though. Okay, slow turn up. And turning.
Nowhere near as much heel on Luna Rossa though, and I think their rate of turn is just a little bit slower, a little bit later getting the board out, although it does go in a bit later as well, so, but pretty cool manoeuvre.
Nice manoeuvre, boys.
The biggest disappointment with their one-legged JK was that Jimmy didn't give it a good name. Normally Luna Rossa can be trusted to come up with pretty jazzy names to their manoeuvres, but he just said, oh, we're going to drop foil mid-manoeuvre. So that was a bit anticlimactic. So maybe Jimmy could go back and give us a proper answer on that. We need a name for that manoeuvre, certainly. And then finally, just going to cover the moment that Luna Rossa kind of knew it was all over. That first leeward mark rounding, super tight. I actually thought Luna Rossa's performance in that last race, the first lap, was probably the best performance in terms of boat speed comparative to Emirates Team New Zealand that I've seen. In the other races, they've always dropped back. You kind of felt like they were losing grip as soon as Emirates Team New Zealand got ahead. But not really on that first lap. They hung in there, especially downwind, really good downwind performance. Really closed in on Emirates Team New Zealand within 50 metres at the leeward mark, and then communication error. in the wind wake as well, disturbed air, and foil in, foil out, drop down, JK or not, they weren't really decisive, and that kind of double touchdown around that leeward mark cost them 200 metres. And I think that was the moment we knew for sure that Emirates Team New Zealand were going to win the cup. So yeah, that was my take home from today. And as with any cup, when it all ends, people need to send their CVs out to get work again. So just like to do a little bit of a pitch for Mozzy Sails, and gone down to the trophy cabinet, otherwise known as the downstairs loo, and pulled out a little plate. Now, there's some interesting names on this this little plate. First of all, Fred West. I don't think it's the Fred West. It's a Frederick West, so I'm pretty sure that's a different person. But if we flip over to the backside and have a look at the winners, here we go. I'm not sure if you can see that, but Ben Ainsley from Restronge in 1993. And that tells you a couple of things, really. First of all, that Ben has won the Chichester Harbour Federation Frederick West Trophy once. Also tells you when in 1993, so he's pretty old. But there's also another guy whose name's on this trophy, and he's Tom Morris. There you go, Tom Morris, 3 times winner, 4 times winner. Actually, I think it's 5 times winner because I'm a bit cheap and haven't got it engraved yet. But just saying, if you're looking for someone who's younger, a multiple winner of what is essentially a family racing dinghy week, which involves a lot of drinking, then, you know, it could convert to America's Cup. So, yeah, I'm available. Jim, if you're watching, need a new skipper. But yeah, yeah, America's Cup's over. Interesting few days now, seeing who's the challenger, seeing if anyone throws a hat in the ring as additional challengers, reading between the lines of all the kind of press releases and debrief interviews. So that's going to be a bit of a fascinating time. Also, obviously going to get Rob and Tom back on, go over our predictions. Tom actually nailed the predictions, so that's a bit annoying. We'll have to sort him out a prize. Maybe Tom can win the Allen block or something for his great prediction, getting the score right as well. So that's all for me today, and I shall catch up back with you later in the week. Thanks for watching the channel. Thanks for supporting it through the America's Cup. I've had a great time with you guys, but it's not quite over yet. So we'll catch up in that video at the end of the week with Rob and Tom. Get the lads back together for one last chat. Take care. Bye.